Whether you know it or not, there are habits that stop you from living life happily. This audio lecture will expose 20 of those habits to take you one step closer to happiness. Thank you everyone for showering your love to our content, and now we are here with a new video. Let's start with habit number 1. The I am always right attitude. Now this is something that blocks our learning. Like, imagine if we always think that we are going to be right and we feel that we know the answers, then what's the point of learning something new or listening to others? So whenever we say that, oh yes, we know it, we always block the other side of the road. It's like, this is the only road, this is the only path, I know it and that's it. I don't know anything beyond that. So whenever you do that, you limit yourself to reaching limitless heights of knowledge. So it's always better to realize where you are getting that attitude, where you are getting that I am always right stuff, and how you can get out of it. Sometimes if you can simply be aware that okay, this is happening, you can automatically get a chance to come out of it, because that makes you get into a disturbing phase. Habit number 2, jumping from here and there. Now, a jumping mind makes you restless and stressed. So whenever you feel like you can't even focus on one point, it's really getting disturbing. So there needs to be a solution to it. And one of the best things that all of us can do is realize that rather than jumping to several things at the same time, we can block the time accordingly. We can decide, like, what am I going to do for the rest 15 minutes or for the rest 30 minutes, whatever the time frame may be. But you are sure that this much of time is something for this kind of activity or this kind of planning, right? And you are going to give your best on that. You're not making any disturbance in between that. And then you can focus on something else, maybe a 15-minute break for social media scrolling or something else. So we got to be wise about how we use our mind. Rather than jumping, we can stay stable. We can stay stable about the things that we choose. And the third habit is making too many promises, and that too at an early stage of something. This is what lands us into unexpected trouble. So maybe you don't realize the consequences of promising later. So you make the promises and later on realize that you shouldn't be making that promise. So it's wise to, step aside and see what might happen, or allow the right time to come when you can promise, when you realize logically that it's okay to, make an agreement with the person about something. But please don't be in a hurry to make any promise without knowing what the consequences may be. Habit number 4, being rude for some reason. Now, of course, there can be reasons for this way of behaving. Maybe we go through some kind of, realizations or situations which make us behave in a certain way. But it's something that we and me and all of us know that it's not good in the long run. So if I'm being rude for some reason, for example, then I need to know what's making me behave in that manner, and what can I do about it. So when I think like that, I am giving my mind a solution-oriented approach, and now I can think about deciding whether it's good for me or not. If it's not, then I can choose what's good. Maybe by turning to the other side of the road, I can get into a point where I enjoy myself, company of some people, and what I do. And then it's better for me to behave in a better way rather than being rude to people. Because, if you're gonna be rude all the time, then it's like karma hits back and you're gonna face the same situation, which is not good. Number 5, being busy 24/7. Now, I absolutely understand that in the present day scenario, We get so much into work, we get so much into our personal, in our professional lives, that we hardly, give time to our personal life, about meeting somebody or going somewhere, or spending some me time, to relax and rejuvenate our mind. It's rarely happening. But what are the repercussions and what may happen later? Problems, stress, anxiety, which is not good. So even if you're getting busy, have some time to, clear your mind, right? It will give some kind of recharge and rejuvenation that your mind deserves and your soul craves. Habit number 6, judging without knowing. Now this is something we all fall trap into, because we often get into a situation where we simply notice a person's way of talking and we judge without knowing the background of the story, like why that person behaved in a way, or what made him or her act like that. So we never know the full side of the story. So our target should always be knowing the other side of the story before making a big statement about that person, because that helps us stop regretting our decisions later. Number 7, being desperate for attention. Now this simply happens because sometimes we don't like staying lonely, or other reasons may also exist, I don't know. But in my case, I have always found that whenever I feel like it's getting lonely, I just desperately try myself harder to connect with more and more people. But then I realize that the more desperate I get, the farther I go away from people. Rather, when I accept the situation as it is and simply think of how I can make things better, then the possibility of connecting in a better way increases, because I don't have any urgency or that state of emergency of I need to contact that person now or I'm not gonna feel well. I'm not gonna feel like that. So I'm not desperate, I'm just trying to connect, and that's how natural connection happens, which is important. But desperation is optional and not a good thing, according to me. Habit number 8, complaining more, solving less. And this is something that I keep repeating in most of my audio lectures, because this is what's gonna take most of our attention. We complain about why that person behaved in that way, or why this thing is happening to me, why that thing is happening to that person. So rather than complaining, we can think about the solutions, because whenever we are in the state of complaining, we automatically shut down our ability to focus on solutions. So it's better, okay, this is the situation, or I feel this way. Now what? Now what can I do? What can I do about it? And this, my friend, is one of the best ways to land yourself into a world of possibility, where you will find ways to sort out the issues and jump to the next level of upgradation, which is important, which is an important phase of life. Habit number 8, marking a line between you and me. It's habit number 9. So basically, whenever we create a boundary between me and you, I am this and you are not, or you are that but I am not, we automatically separate ourselves and we forget our unity, the unity of love that we already share, the soul, the powerful soul that we already are. So we need to understand that deep within we are connected and we can do a lot together. So that is important, guys. We shouldn't always create boundaries. Rather, we can think about creating unity and connecting with people. Habit number 10, living your life in your head. So this is something like we all do. And guys, if there had been some background noise, I'm sorry for that. So basically, we spend time thinking about a lot of things and why this is happening, why that is happening, what may I do next, imaginations, memories, and most of the time is spent in our heads. So what happens is that we miss the presence of living life now. And I believe that's a drawback. That shouldn't be happening. Yes, mind is beautiful. We can utilize that to the fullest, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be living our life to the fullest in the moment. So always note that, please find a way out and get involved with the life that you are offered, because that's where beauty lies. Habit number 11, doubting or blaming yourself. There is one situation wherein we blame the situation or the person, and then there is the other where we blame ourselves, which is more complex and difficult and not good, not healthy. We should always understand that mistakes happen. We are humans, but we need to accept that and accept ourselves that okay, we did that, but we can make that better. How can we improve ourselves? Rather than wasting energy on why I did this, I can think about how can I make it better, or what can I do to ensure next time I'm not doing something like this, because that's where the value is. Ultimately, you have to think about that, and that matters. Habit number 12, losing the grip of time and energy, which means, procrastinating. We spend a lot of time thinking that we'll be doing something and not doing it, and which is not at all good. So it's your energy, where you spend your energy and how you spend your time, utilize your time, that decides how you utilize your life. If you can grab attention of the energy and time that you're spending, and you can utilize that to the fullest, your life will thank you later. Habit number 13, reacting more impulsively and responding less wisely. And this has been my personal issue, which I still am figuring out, but I'm mentioning because I found it to be important, and I thought I should be sharing this with you guys. So what happens is, if some problematic situation or something arises which make us react impulsively, we lose our ability to think wisely and respond wisely. So rather than being in that phase of okay, why that person is doing like this and I have to act immediately or impulsively, we can simply allow ourselves, and I found it to be a little helpful to me, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. You can simply know that I have been reacting this way for years or maybe for a long time, and it had always landed me into the same kind of result. So why not try something different, some different approach of reacting, and see how it changes the result. And who knows, you may discover a new way of responding which can be wiser than your previous way. Habit number 14, losing faith when problems arise. Sometimes we follow the process and we do everything that we can, but when we don't see results approaching us, we start losing and giving up. This is not a good thing. Know that problems will be there for a while, sticking with you, but after some time, as your process gets better and better and better, automatically the glue will loosen and you will slowly shift towards happiness and satisfaction of actions that you are taking. Habit number 15, believing anything without using your mind. So let's say you are listening to my podcast, or you're listening to something else, and you're just listening what I'm sharing, and you're not using your mind, and you're believing that that's true. This is not a good way of learning, I believe. You can extract information from different sources and places, but ultimately what you need to do is you need to use your mind, that what is right and what is wrong, and take the things that matter to you or that you find helpful, and remove all the things that you don't find to be helpful. So that matters. Habit number 16, seeing from one-sided angle, which means not seeing the other side or positive side of the event for a holistic view. Sometimes we only see a distorted view of a situation, that okay, this has happened, and what happens is that we keep reacting or imagining things in a negative way about something and putting those negative levels. But we can also think of it in a positive way. For example, if a pandemic strikes, we can say, okay, this is something really disturbing for us, because of course people may lose lives and things may get detrimental for all of us. But at the other hand, it teaches us a lot of things. So there is also a positive aspect lying behind it. So it's always better to have a holistic view of a situation. Habit number 70, being too shy to connect. Now, this may sound like a personal choice, but at least you can try to connect with people. Sometimes it's your habit of just being around the corner and not connecting with people, which make you feel that that's comfortable. But on the other side, your soul wants to explore and connect, which you may feel sometimes that why am I not connecting with this person? So it's important that you understand that shyness is not always good. Yes, of course, you don't need to be expressive all the time, but there are times when you get a chance to connect with people, and I believe you should be doing that. You should be making some healthy connections with people. Habit number 18, underestimate who you are. You may know the process, you may know all the guidance to follow a path, but ultimately, if you don't believe in yourself and if you think, what if I fail? What if I can't? Then it is the biggest block of your success, of your well-being. So always know, and it's a fundamental truth, that all of us have the capability. We can do it if we want it, if we want it to happen. So rather than doubting ourselves, it's important to understand that we are limitless beings and we can do whatever we can. That's important. Habit number 19, taking too much unnecessary stress. So we might be, again, doing a lot of things and living our lives the way we want. But sometimes it's the stress that keeps building at the background that we don't even realize, and that creates problematic situations in our health, wealth, and relationships, which is not good. So it's always better to start early and start monitoring your stress and choose some habits like mindfulness, meditation, as much as it is practical. I'm not saying to try things out which you might not find practical, but at least you can start with a 5-minute guided meditation. Who knows, it may help you. It may help you relax your mind and choose actions that can be good for you. So that's very important. And habit number 20, missing the fun in the game of life. If you are having, and if you are journeying in this life, but you're not having fun, then what's the point of living life, right? You should always find a way to kick that boredom out of your life and create life in a funny way, meaning adding some fun, some kind of excitement to life, to live life happily, to laugh and to connect with people. This is a powerful tool. So these are the 20 habits I found you should be ignoring and you should be working on, because these are not good habits, and replace them with the solutions which can make you a better person. So thank you so much, guys. I am getting a lot of love from you, and that is what motivates me and inspires me to create more content like this. Thank you so much. Share this episode and share your feedback on the comment section. Also share it with your friends and families for a positive listening experience, and follow the playlist and iCard for a playlist where you get everything important about self-improvement. Thank you so much, and let life shine bright. Thank you.